Hey friends, welcome back to my studio. I feel like I need to do that a little happier. How are you doing today? I hope things are going well. I want to do a video about how to paint grass. There's several ways to do it. Where'd I put it? Oh, so you've seen me do videos where I'm up close, so the grass is like long fur. And then I've done a simple landscape video, just switching things out here, where all this grass, except for a little bit here and here, this is all horizontal, fades out. There's a lot of different colors. Of course, it could be a field. It might not be like a lawn, you know, but not too many vertical strokes, mostly horizontal. And then I did a video, but it was on my time-lapse mode, not the regular mode. And so I did one here. And I used a palette knife and stuff. So that's similar to the painting I just showed you. So let's try and paint grass and see how it goes. Okay, so I've got a piece of canvas. It's just loose canvas in a pad. Here I'm going to grab, got too many show and tell things. A lot of times I buy it from Michael's. This time I bought it from US Art Supply because I was ordering things on Amazon. It's 8 by 10 and it doesn't say 100% cotton canvas, so I don't know if it's archival. But for what I use it for practice because I paint a lot on canvas. I don't like painting on like mixed media paper as well because it dries quicker. I'm just not used to it. So it's just a pad of primed canvas. Okay. I'm going to set that over here. And then I just taped to a piece of cardboard, like the back of that canvas pad. I would save it. I think this was probably a 9 by 12 pad that I saved. I just taped the canvas to make it sturdier so it doesn't slide around on me. Oh, and I don't have an apron on. I probably should put an apron on. And then I took some Hooker's Green and some Mars Black. Get that on camera. And titanium white. So this time it's all basics, but I have a combination of heavy body and basics. And I just mixed some green and black together and then mixed a little white with that, and then pulled some of that out and mixed a little more white with it. So I just have 3 puddles. You could have 5 puddles, however many you want. And I'm thinking I'm gonna paint sort of up over here, and then I might do a little quick demo on this. But this is just side to side. Have it lighter in the back. Oops, you can tell I'm getting it wet because it's changing a little bit. And then have it get darker as you go towards the front. Everything's horizontal. And then I came back with some verticals. And then of course I put like little weeds or flowers in there. Okay, I have too much stuff on my art table. This has paint on it. I think it's a 3/4 inch Royal and Lang nickel. And there's Zen line. Yep, 3/4 inch. All right, so we'll even draw a little, I'm looking for a pencil. Draw a little box. Oop. Okay. As I said, we might do a little quick demo depending on how long this takes. So I'm gonna grab a little white. So that's where if you wanted to have like 5 steps from dark to light instead of 3. I'm just gonna. So the first step, and you can start with the dark, is just go horizontal. You could actually go like this, make it a little more interesting, or you could go straight up horizontal. If that's too dark, grab a little light. Maybe take some paint off my brush on a paper towel. There we go. I just want to work to darker. I'm almost just kind of scribbling because this is really dark. So now I'm gonna put that down on the bottom. But my brush already has some light in it, so it helps me a little bit. Grab some of the medium. I'm offloading my brush. You don't have to paint it this fast. I'm just trying to get her done so we can move on. And actually, I think the little zigzaggy strokes will help you. You could, like, I've got a painting called Pirouetting, where I actually put a path in the grass. I hit that up there with a darker color. Okay, so you could say, done. Here, screenshot. Done. You don't have to talk about the grass a lot if you don't want to. A lot of times I don't. You'll see in my paintings I don't talk about the grass or the ground a whole bunch. I tend to go towards horizontal, goes way off into the distance kind of thing. Okay, I'm gonna dry this with a hairdryer and I'll be back. Okay, I just gave it a quick dry with a hairdryer. You could use a filbert, you could use a smaller brush, you could use a round brush. But I think for now, well, let's switch. I'll wash this out. At least, not completely, but just kind of get it somewhat clean. I'm looking for a little smaller filbert. Oh, here, I had one right on my art table. This one's a number 12 Menta Royal and Lang Nickel. This one is the Zoo Ting off of Amazon, which, I mean, I like them. They're really cheap. They do tend to, the paint tends to pop off quick. The wood expands. Even if you don't keep it in water, I've had that trouble. The brushes seem to stay pretty well. I mean, get what you can afford. I don't think these are that much more expensive, but I don't know the pricing. Okay, so just to switch brushes. All right, so now, okay, so you have dark to light. And then as you go back into this lighter area, the contrast isn't going to be much, and then the texture is going to be small. And as you come forward, the texture gets bigger with more contrast. So, should we try a little lighter or a little darker? I really don't know, but we'll just try. And if you want to use even a smaller brush, you can. That might be too light, so then I'm always tempted to kind of smear it. Whoop. I put it on a cardboard, but the cardboard still moves. Oh, actually, that might dry okay. I have things rolling. It's drying pretty. And then just kind of try to be random. That might work. We could try a little. That might be too dark. That's too dark. That's too dark. So I wipe my brush off on a paper towel to get most of the paint off. You could wash it in water too. Let's just try our puddle. That's a little better. So then we're kind of making a little dip down in there. And then we could come back and break up that dip if we didn't like it. And then straight out of my lightest puddle. And then so my almost, not quite white. You can kind of just keep playing. Okay, so hopefully that helps you get the idea. Okay, I kind of washed out my brush, not real thoroughly. All right, so let's try a little bigger texture. This might be too dark. Oh, and you could use this side. You could do this with a, that's what sometimes why I use I like a square brush sometimes, because I can get the corner marks as well as the skinny side of the brush marks. So just got a little, and I'm gonna go a little shorter. Try not, see, I'm making a pattern. You could use a fan brush. I don't have a stiff one. All of mine are floppy. Oh, yes, I do too. Well, I think it's too big for this painting. You could load up the corners and use a fan brush. You can tell I've never used this. It's a number 4 Simply Simmons. I probably should play with it sometime. All right, so I'm gonna grab some lighter. Because I didn't really like it and I kind of had a blob there. Some of this is just gonna be practice and what you like. So I'm gonna break up my little soldiers I have standing in a row there. So short or smaller, bigger strokes than there, but not too big. We're gonna go bigger. Go big or go home. I think that kind of works actually already. Okay, and then we want, so I'm gonna kind of jump and I'm gonna do some in the foreground. Oh, here, so you switch brush. I mean, I just do that because maybe it helps you. Just to let you know, use what you're comfortable with. That's the only, like I did in the cloud video. That's what's spurring or inspiring me to do this video, is a cloud video, because it seemed to really help people. So one color, well, 2, black and green, just because I didn't want a green grass. You can mix your green if you don't have Hooker's green, or buy one. So this is around number 10. And this is a pretty light touch. And this is more like what I showed you earlier. I'm gonna do these zigzaggy up and down. It's like really, if you're up close, it's like dog fur. Okay. Oop, I might not like this one. See, I got a fat. Yeah, it takes a lighter touch. I like how it skips when I have to do the lighter touch. But personally, I'm not as, I don't paint with it as much. You can tell it looks like a new brush. I would use it for clouds and kind of scumbling and lay it on its side. Like that. I would do that more with it. That's just personal preference. So I'm going to clean it out because I don't particularly like it. Here, let's use this. So I'm just going to load up a corner, and I'm hitting my microphone cord. I'm going to scooch that up a little bit. Oh yeah, it does do nice grass. Now you could load it up completely, but I'm painting such a small little painting. Totally can do that. It's got a little bit of a long handle, which sounds like I'm complaining, but I can just stand it up underneath my phone. So I'm gonna set that aside. Cool. That totally works though, if you guys want to use one of those. I'm going to go back to a flat, but maybe a smaller one. And if switching brushes drives you guys crazy, let me know. Grass is kind of like clouds. It's in the painter. It's not really the brush. But clearly I have preferences of what brush I use. Okay, so I'm going to grab some of my light, because I've kind of got soldiers going here. Nah, I don't want to do that. I'm going to grab some of this. Actually, I'm going to grab some of this and do some fat ones after I was complaining about not wanting fat ones. Let's just get some paint in here. I might grab a little black. There. That makes me happier. Okay, do we need a mid-ground grass? Or are we gonna make our grass taller? All of a sudden, what popped in my head made me chuckle. Is like, okay, I'm talking about grass on your lawn, not grass that you might smoke or eat, and that might not be funny to everybody. That is what popped into my head. Well, that might not be light enough. So really I'm just playing with values and playing with grass until I like it. Because we're gonna have more contrast up here. Oops, I just kind of muddied that. I think we might be okay, and I don't need to do that. And you know what? I actually kind of like the point I was getting on this one better. Sometimes you need to maybe pull out a new brush. Oh yeah, I think that's getting a little fuzzy. Sometimes it is the brush and how well you take care of them. I'm not the best brush parent. You could pull out a little number one. You can tell. I don't know if you can tell that one's fuzzy. So this is more like that cute little Black Eyed Susan's paintings I've showed you a couple times already. So now what I'm going to do is just kind of bring up the value, but maybe just bring it up on the tips. And you could use a smaller brush. Like I've got a little liner brush if you really, it just depends on the detail and how much time you want to put into it. Oh, here's my liner brush. This one's smaller. You could go to straight white or almost white. Oh, let's try straight white. Huh. Sometimes things just do not work, which I think is good for you to see. Because like in a time-lapse video, you don't... I'm not getting a much smaller line. I wonder if this one's getting... My little liner brushes get abused and used, and they don't always hold a point after a while. Here, so what I did is I rolled it and I used a little water. So I'm going to get a little water, a little paint. You don't have to do it in that order. You can do a little paint, a little water. So it's just where the light's catching, and sometimes the light can catch down lower. Oops, not really like that one. Hang on guys, I'll be back in a sec. Hey, I heard my husband come home and I don't want him to come up here in the middle of the video, so I shut my studio door. You know, we're really there. I need to probably show you closer. You know, you could go more detail. Get a reference photo. But we're really there. I don't know if we want to keep playing. And then maybe you just grab some medium. And then you can get some little wet on wet blend areas if you want that. We could push it back a little bit with some black or really a darker green. And then we could bring it back up. That's kind of pretty. So this is what's great about playing with it. Right there. It's kind of pretty and looks good. I just worked a little area. That's what I do with fur too. That's totally fur. Grass and fur. They can be pretty much the same thing. You know, if you get too many In fronts, cross a couple over, just for interest. I think we're done. I need to kind of step back from it. We could lighten some of this if we wanted. We didn't like it. Change the shape of it a little bit. We could, if it changes too much from texture to little texture, you could add a little. If it's not the right value, just come grab a little darker. Could add a little more in. Cool. I hope that helps. So that's sort of like grass on a lawn. First you gradate off to lighter and grayer, lighter most importantly. As you go off in the distance, you lose your yellows and your reds. But since we're just using, this one color I mixed, you don't need to, it just needs to go lighter. And then little detail, little contrast to more detail, more contrast. Okay, the other way I do it is the same way. You could do it flatter instead of doing, we did this. You could do it flatter. And just grab some of your middle puddle, blend up a little, blend down a little. And if you don't get it right, you just keep working it. I didn't really get it right on that one very well. Grab a little of my darker and start a little lower. It can be easier. It wasn't as dark as I thought it was going to be. You just never know. Because I didn't clean out my brush. Now that's too dark. I don't want that. So I'm going to grab some of my lighter puddle and just mix it in. So I do it like this quite a bit. This is sort of the little barn with the creek that I showed you. I'll grab it. I was cleaning out my brush there. So I start that. Sometimes you just add more color if you want. Value is more important than color quite often. Although, like people, I'm trying to think of an example. They like their beads yellow and black, but really you can't. I've seen artists do portraits of people with crazy color. You totally can do it. Okay. I never did put on an apron. Hopefully I don't get any paint on myself. And then I'll take, I'm going to rinse out my brush a little bit. Trying to be a good brush parent. You can take a palette knife, which I like. For a while I was only palette knife painting, but I got so real with it that I started brush painting because it was quicker. And I'm just kind of loading up the bottom. Instant texture and fun. Got a little bit of dark paint there. Can you see that, or is it too close to the same value? You want it close to the same value. But I got a little skipping on the canvas. Try it again, we'll do it a little lighter. Is that showing better? Oh, there it shows there on the darker. Go some straight up white and see how that looks. Oops. So you pull it out. I kind of want it white. Well, pull it out, and in this case, flatten it out. Just drag it across. I like that. To me, I like that better. Personal preference. Do what you guys like. Some people really like more detailed, but off in the distance, I like that. I should have showed you this one up closer when I was painting it. Fun, easy, faster. Oh, I have my studio window open, and it's evening, and somebody's cooking burgers on the grill because it's middle of February, so it should be a lot colder here, but we don't have any snow on the ground. 62 degrees today. It's like super nice. Okay. So we could do the same again. We'll see. Let's just take that. That's our middle value. Well, that's too dark. I don't care for that. So I'm going to scrape it out a little bit more. Oh, you can bring it down though. You can kind of, I ran out of paint, but you can kind of, you don't have to go back and forth. You can kind of go circly, scumble with your palette knife. All right, let's take some straight up light puddle. And actually that's going to end up looking nicer because I get layers. See, sometimes those things that don't work out so well help you. I get mad sometimes, I get frustrated. And practice helps. But that's getting, whoop. No, actually that wasn't so bad. That scared me. That's getting yummier. And grassier. Hope that's showing up on the video. A lot of times I can see the contrast better in person. So I'm glad that my first video didn't turn out because I think these two, I was pretty much doing this one and talking about you can put dirt down. I put some red oxide down and made a path, but I think this is better. It's more simple. It's two different approaches. There are more approaches. I mean, it's kind of like how you have your own handwriting. You can do a combination of approaches. You know, use a bigger palette, set yourself up better for using a palette knife. I like these because I can store them in the Ziploc bags, and I'll have like a bunch of them stacked in my studio on a shelf. And then once I get the paintings varnished, then I let the palette dry out and I throw them away. So I think this is gonna be too dark, but let's just do it. You can tell I'm scared, so I'm not laying it totally flat. I was kind of laying it on its side. I don't think that's gonna be too bad. And you never know, I want more paint, but it keeps coming off over here. But you know, at one point I was really getting skilled with a palette knife. Practice, practice, practice. How many times do you guys hear that? You're probably tired of hearing that. Just practice, you'll get better. I can't tell I'm getting better, but man, when I look back over the last 2 years, I've had a lot more time to paint. I've gotten a whole lot better. And that's what's fun. You know, you just, like, oh, I like that one. Well, a lot of times, like, I don't like a buffalo painting that's coming up. I didn't like it, and now I love it. But man, I was on top of all that fur. I didn't like the lights. I didn't, you know, yada, yada, yada. Now I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. So sometimes, like, you know, put your painting in the closet for a little bit or something, or put it in the other room. Okay, that's totally grass. Let me know if you think that looks like grass too. If it doesn't to you, I get it. Just let me know in the comments. I love the comments. Oh, I have a Facebook group. Some YouTube people asked me when I was going to do that, so we just jumped in and did it. And you don't have to share. You can share any creative thing you're up to, or like if you find a great YouTube video on painting clouds that somebody else did, you can share it in there. My daughter just shared her first crocheted sweater. It's really cute. It's color block. You know, it can be any creative project. You write songs, you know. So I'm gonna do a little, here, it probably work better. So you pull out the color, flatten it. It's not very flat on the side of my plate there. And then you just kind of run your edge through it. Or you can even scoop a little bead up. I don't know if you can see it because I've got stuff on the bottom of my knife. And then you could put in grasses. They'll be, you know, straighter and stiffer, but that can be fun. Here, let's put a little, smooth it out. I'm going to wipe off my palette knife so you can see it better. It's dirty, but, and you could do it, you know, bigger painting, bigger knife, longer edge. You could do it with cutting an old, that's got a number on it and my signature. Just flash that. Use an old credit card. Thank goodness that's not good anymore. You can use an old credit card, gift card. There, oops, that's a pretty fat bead. And then you can do it straight and see if it comes off. Oh, and it did. Or you can kind of lay it on its side. See if it comes off, because I kind of put a bead on the back. There we go. So that takes longer than a brush, but it works. And then you can do the same principle where you have darker down. I'm kind of wanting to show you, and I'm kind of wanting to end the video because I think you guys got the idea. Oh, you could load up the tip and do like triangles. Just gonna paint like that. I do mountains like that sometimes, kind of. There, see, that's gonna be quicker. Then you can come back with your grass shapes, and I'm scraping some of it up. And you could do a little wet on wet, blending. I really lightened that though. Oops, hopefully I'm not off camera. I get to where I'm painting and I'm not paying attention to the video. It's kind of fun. Alrighty, I so hope this helped. We use a couple of different tools. You'll have a look that you like, or you'll have something you're just more comfortable with. If you don't right off the bat, you can just pick one and practice it. Sort of like shooting free throws until you make more of them. I'm trying to figure out where to put things. Here, oh, here, let's get another screenshot. So you could keep working it and making it nicer. I just thought of something you could add. I'm going to take straight up white, which I don't always do. And you could add like little seedy things, or it's a cattail. Those kinds of things. If you wanted. Okay, I was going to say goodbye. We'll get you, if you want a screenshot. And you can combine the two techniques if you want. Well, let me know if this helps. Thank you for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. You guys are the best. I appreciate all your support. People have been sending money through PayPal and Venmo, showing up to the lives, which is really fun. Favorite daughter helps me with the lives. We have a blast with that. It's been really fun to connect with you. I think I'm repeating myself. I think I need to go have some dinner. Great big happy art hugs, and I hope to chat with you soon. Bye, friends.